July 18th, 1998, and it's 12 o'clock. At 9 o'clock this morning, Philip logged his first hour of instructed flight in a Cessna 152. And Philip, so can you start from the pre-flight and explain what happened?
Well, first of all, we started in the cockpit where we tested all the nav instruments and
Put the flaps down, did you?
put the flaps down. We tested the flaps. Then we started around the wing, around the left wing. We walked all around. We checked
What
the
are we
ailerons.
looking for?
There's this rod that's connecting the ailerons and the flaps, and there's one for the flaps and one for the ailerons. And what we do is we pull the little notches so the ailerons or the flaps don't come off.
Good. So after you pre-flighted the plane, then what were your thoughts as you were starting? You were finishing up the pre-flight and getting in the cockpit and getting everything ready inside the cockpit.
And actually, I wasn't thinking of much because I was too excited. Turn on the mags.
Yeah.
There's a switch right down here. Flip it over.
That's the fuel.
That's the fuel. I forgot if you have to pull in or push out the mixture.
Okay.
But we did that, and then you have this key. It's kind of like starting up a car. You took the key, then click it 3 times, and the engine starts.
What do you have to do before you start the engine?
You have to yell, clear prop.
Go ahead, real loud.
Clear prop! And then...
And what did you think when that engine fired up? Pretty awesome?
Yeah, pretty awesome.
So now you're ready to taxi a little bit. You got the rudder, you felt the rudders and the nose wheel working for you?
Actually, he was taxiing the plane.
He taxied a little
But
bit?
I was following along.
You were feeling it?
Yeah.
And so you went over to the run-up area and you ran up the plane, checked the ailerons and checked the rudder and the elevators, right? And make sure everything's working good. Check the mags.
Just with the brakes on.
With the brakes on.
My feet were on the rudders when we were out the run-up. Just in case if he accidentally let it go, I could just push it real quick.
And Steve called the tower, is that right?
Yes.
And Steve called it, and you allege that Steve called the tower. So now comes the real part. So when you got clearance from the tower to go, what did Steve do?
He pulled out real slow. Then when we came out to the runway, we made a left turn, and we were right on the runway. Following the arrows, we went right up, and then he just let everything go. And then I was, of course, holding the rudders.
Did Steve say it's yours, and you did the throttle, and you did everything when you took off?
I took off with a nice, easy takeoff, and I held the throttle just in case if it was an emergency. I held the throttle until we climbed to an altitude of about 1,500 feet, and then I just let it go, and then we were up. We went down the downwind leg this way. Then we were just flying around. We were flying level until we reached the ocean, because he was testing how I knew how to do my heading. My headings.
Good.
Did you see Catalina?
We saw Catalina. We started flying towards Catalina, and then we made a left turn. We did this thing, but I forgot what it was called, but the wing was like this, and the lighthouse, I had to keep the lighthouse underneath my wing at all times.
Turning around the point.
Yeah, and maintaining my altitude at the same time, and I did that.
So what all did you do? So you went out to the test area and you did, what'd you do? Descents?
Descents. I was coming around at the lighthouse when we made a right turn, and then we started doing the S turns.
And you were flying the plane all this time?
All this time.
Steve was not touching the controls at all?
Now, Philip, what did you say that he said that he'd asked you? When was that he asked you if you had not done this before or something?
Oh, like 5 times he asked me that.
Did you do any stalls when you were out there?
I did 3 stalls.
All on your own?
All on my own.
Power off stalls?
Power off stalls.
And you recovered?
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing. What were you thinking when you were doing
Nothing,
this?
I was too
And you
excited
were
to
controlling the airplane and you knew exactly what to look for and what instruments and everything?
Of course, he was telling me what to do
Mhm,
because
mhm.
it was my first time.
Mm-hmm.
But I was at the controls and doing everything.
Wow.
But not calling it to the tower. He was doing that.
Right, because that takes a little time and it's serious business. So what happened when you started coming back into the pattern? Tell us a little bit about what happened. How'd that feel? You were pretty excited.
I was pretty excited. Steve made sure that I was looking at the runway
Mhm.
and I saw the runway.
Mhm.
I had to kind of stand up because
To line it
Yeah.
up.
with the cushion out, the board was like that big.
You had cushions under you, did you? Because you couldn't see over them. Okay.
And I'm a small kid.
So go ahead. So then what happened?
Then as soon as we were in the pattern,
Mhm.
we just landed.
Well, wait a minute. Something happened, didn't it?
No.
Oh, come on, it's okay.
Nothing happened.
No?
No.
No barfing incident?
No.
It's okay. It's okay, Phil.
Yeah, I barked a little bit.
So when you guys landed, did he taxi back in or yeah? Because you were
Taxi
a little
back
yeah.
I could have taxied myself, but I was.
No.
I mean, I have barf all over me. I don't feel comfortable taxing
With barf.
Do you normally,
with saliva and barf. And
So Phil, what were you thinking while you were doing all of these? Was it what you had envisioned what flying would be like?
no.
Couldn't even imagine it.
No. It was the most greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
I think you're going to be a pilot for the rest of your life. Is what I think.